Hello, crew. How are you today? I'm going to share with you today a little nifty trick to make your post look a little bit different to everybody else's. So I'll share that with you in a moment on screen. Those of you that are actually live with me today, thank you, because I've just adjusted my time by about half an hour today. And I'll share a little story with you about that in a minute, about my journey this morning in my part of the world. But welcome to the live today. If we've not met before, my name is Helen Martin and I'm your online crew captain, which just means I'm here of service to an amazing crew here of entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, those in network marketing that are learning to leverage social media and build their business online. So today I moved my live just by half an hour to allow myself enough time to take my husband to the hospital. So some of you might have seen my post and are aware from my live yesterday that my husband was going in for day surgery today to have his wisdom teeth out, which is not the best to have. Has any of you had your wisdom teeth out? Like, how did that go for you? But for him as an adult, it's not the best. But here's what happened. So we got down there and we're waiting for, to go in. And because of all the COVID stuff, everybody that enters the hospital has to fill out a form. So there's a line there's a line accumulating out the door because the girl that was collecting the forms ran out of forms. So we're waiting just to get really into the door of the hospital. And then we get into the day surgery section and there's quite a few people and it's like, okay, this is busy. There's going to be a few people that are having day surgery today. So we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. Hence, I moved my live by 30 minutes. So thanks for joining me live, for those of you that are here live. And then someone came over and actually said to us, I'm really sorry, but your surgery is going to be cancelled today. Somebody before Paul had a complication. They had a reaction to the anesthetic, and they were helicoptering them out to the city. So when that happens, they're not allowed to do any more surgeries. So it's good because we've got a really busy weekend coming up, and I won't go into details, but it's good that he's not going to be out to the count. But on the other side, Paul's in his own business. He's in a trade leading up to Christmas. It's a really, really, really busy time for him. So to not go through with the surgery and have to reschedule. So all they've told us is that somebody will ring him to reschedule sometime before Christmas, which is not going to be very convenient for him. So we've been to the hospital and we've come home with no surgery because unfortunately somebody had a really bad reaction and had to get flown out of the hospital and go to the city. So not good for that person. We believe that person has never had an anesthetic before, so didn't know that they were going to have a reaction. And I hope they're okay. But that's sort of what's happened to our day today. And on top of that, it's, and I know probably none of you would know her, but it's my sister's 50th birthday today. So we've been on the phone a lot with her. We live an hour apart from each other. So we've been on the phone this morning, the whole family sort of talking to her. So I'm just so excited for her. If you know anything about my sister, my family has got a very strong history of breast cancer. My sister and I are only 18 months apart. So if you didn't know how old I was, now you do. And she's been through breast cancer recently and had a mastectomy and reconstruction and chemo and radiotherapy. So the fact that she's celebrating her 50th birthday is just amazing. So it's been a very, very interesting day today. And unfortunately, Paul hasn't been able to have his surgery today, but, we'll see what that looks like as the coming week. So there you go. That's sort of what's happened today. So who's with us here today? We've got Susan. Hello, Christine. So how is Paul? I've just explained that. Hi, Marcella. How are you? Hi, Cynthia. Good to see you. He's fantastic. All he wanted to do was get a coffee and something to eat because, you know, some of you may know when you have surgery, you're not allowed to drink. He wasn't even allowed to drink water this morning. So no food, no even water. So all he wanted to do was go and get a coffee and something to eat. So that's what we did. And then we came home. Hello, Sarah. How are you? Coming in from the farm. Still actually okay. Awesome, Sarah. Good to see you having a good time. Never had them out. So apparently they're not good to have as adults, but if they don't cause you any grief, they're not actually causing Paul any grief, but there is apparently a little bit of decay back there, which can cause him grief in future years. So yeah, that's what that's all about. Hi, Jade. How are you? High five, Mike. How are you? Gloria, Christmas dinner in a blender, pretty much. Milkshakes. I lost 10 pounds when you had mine out. So I've got all organized. We made jelly last night. The boys helped me with that. So, you know, we were thinking of jelly and soup and ice cream and all the things to feed him with, but we don't have to worry about that right for now. Wisdom teeth, that was not fun. My last wisdom tooth was a yes, well, okay, and actually rooted itself to my gum. It was not fun. Yeah, so still to happen, just not sure when. I know it's hard when plans have to be rescheduled, especially at this time of year, and especially when you're in a trade like Paul is. Hopefully it can be rescheduled soon. Yeah, so he may even have to put it off until next year, unfortunately, if it gets too close to Christmas. He just can't. He just gets too busy with his business. Happy birthday to my sister. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Sophie. Appreciate that. So glad you have a sister to celebrate her birthday. Yes, absolutely. So grateful for that. We're very, very close. Happy birthday, sister. Oh, her name's Alison, actually. If I didn't, did I say that? Maybe I didn't say that. Yeah, but my sister's name is Alison. Most people call her Allie, but I just can't. You know that sister thing? I've never known her as Allie. Everyone calls her Allie, but I call her Alison. Got mine out, no problems. Easy recovery. That's good to know. Good morning, Clarissa. How are you? Mine were terrible. I had mine out about 20 years ago, but I was out to the count for about a week. It was terrible, so I hope that's not Paul's experience. Anyway, I'll keep you posted with what's happening there. So adventurous day today. So what am I here to talk to you about today? I just want to share with you one way. There are lots of ways, but one of the ways you want to stand out on social media is do something different than everybody else is doing. And I will share something with you tomorrow that is probably something that a lot of people haven't discovered on social media, and I'll show you how to do that. But today I just want to share with you one way to make your posts look a little bit different. What's important to know regarding who sees your posts is roughly probably only about 8 out of 100 of your friends see your stuff. So when we're talking about organic reach and who sees what, there's thousands and thousands of pieces of content that get put on Facebook, particularly every single day. And leading up to Christmas, that'll be more. There's more people fighting for space, especially advertisers. So people that pay for Facebook advertising, you're probably going to see more ads. Those of you that are advertising, you'll probably see prices be driven up a little bit more. You know, the cost per lead and, you know, just your general costs overall of Facebook ads do go up a little bit because there's so many people just posting at this time of year. When people are a little bit more social, if you can be in the country that you live in, people have got more things to share, you know, leading up to Christmas and Christmas parties and gatherings and stuff like that, if you're allowed to have gatherings, that is. So there's just a lot more fight for the same amount of space. So there's thousands of content. So on average, just to give you a guideline, there's probably about 3,000 pieces of content a day that Facebook has to work out which 300 of those 3,000 they put in front of you. So this is where it's really important on what you do on social media, because if you're just watching, if you're just a scroller, and it's a one-way thing, you're just, you know, watching and looking, but you're not actually interacting, then you're not necessarily going to see the content from the friends and, you know, acquaintances and people that you want to see. So the people that you do want to see, you know, content from, you want to actually engage and interact with those people because there's this huge fight for space. And, you know, generally only a few of your friends will see your content. So just because you've got 1,000 friends or 5,000 friends obviously doesn't mean that everybody sees every piece of content that's connected to you, nor vice versa. If you saw every single piece of content that every one of your friends on Facebook put out, your news feed would just be impossible. Like, you'd just be bombarded with information. We're already being bombarded with information. So very few people see your stuff. And then we've got to stop the scroll. So if you're lucky enough to get in somebody's news feed because of a piece of content that you've put out, you want that content to stand out. So what you do, it could be live video, could help you stand out. It could be, one of those backgrounds that you've got some wording, you just put a few words on it. We've got avatar backgrounds now that you can use. There's things like, if you stay up on top of things that just look a little bit different, or you're in the know, or even like Facebook stories or Instagram stories, if you know how to use all the features and other people don't, it will draw more people to you. So anything that you can do to make your content stand out from the crowd is definitely something that you want to pay attention to. Anything that you can learn that will help your content stand out from the crowd because other people don't know how to do what you know how to do, it's a really good thing. So one thing I want to share with you today, I'm going to share my screen and show you what it looks like, because I shared this in my free group. Some of you will be watching from my free group today. So I broadcast in 2 different places at once. Some of you will be watching from my business page. Some of you will be watching from my free group. Anybody's welcome in my free group. It's called Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners. And I put a post in there yesterday in my time zone about making the text stand out in a different way, and how do you do that. So I'm going to share my screen and show you what that looks like. And these are the little kind of things that I advise that you do, because nobody really knows how to do them. And it makes your content stand out from the crowd, and people go, how did they do that? I don't know how to do that. So they're just little things, but honestly, sometimes you just need to slow down to speed up. And what I mean by that is actually take some extra care and extra attention to what you're putting out on social media, and maybe make it look a little bit different to what everybody else is putting out on social media. And it will probably stop the scroll in some capacity. If you want to grow a business on social media, you need more eyeballs on you. You need to be connecting with more people. You always want to be growing your audience. Whether that's organic or paid is completely up to you, but always networking with new people, making connections with new people, and doing things that nobody else knows how to do, okay? So I'm going to share my screen here and show you what I put in the group yesterday. Okay, so I just want to check in. Can you see that post on the screen there that says a question for you? I'm hoping you can see it. Just find my live. Because when I did this, when I was sharing my screen, no, I can't find it. When I was sharing my screen last week, sometimes you couldn't see, the screen sharing didn't work. So here I'm live. Okay, you can see it. Beautiful. Just turning down the volume there. So can you see that post in the middle there that says question for you? How do you get wording in the middle of the page like this? Do you know how? And do you want to know how? Now, what most people would think, which is what I've thought, and I've tried many a time and it doesn't work, is just using the space bar. So you just use the space bar to get where you want to go, and then you type. But do you know what happens when you do that, when you press enter? Or you actually, it looks all right on the screen, but when you press post, guess what happens? It falls straight back to the left-hand side. So it doesn't work using the space bar. So how many of you know, and I don't think anyone here in the comments knew, no. So I was saying, do you want to know? Lynn said, of course we want to know. Other than the space bar, which is what I would have thought, well, I want to learn this, have no clue, without using the space bar how. So I don't think anyone guessed it. What about anybody watching live? Do you know how to do this? Don't know, says Christina. Show me, show me, show me. Yes, can see it. Thank you for telling me you can see my screen. Thank you, Hubby. I appreciate the comment there. So you may not know that there is actually something And this is going to be a big advantage for those of you in my coaching community, because I'm going to give you the goods. I'm not only going to tell you what it is, I'm going to give it to you in my coaching community. Did you know there is such a thing called an invisible emoji? Okay, so there's actually something which you guys won't be able to see, but if I highlight it here, you can only highlight things that are written or in the background. So that is actually an invisible emoji at the beginning here. And I've literally copied that and I've pasted it here on the second line. This is actually, so there's actually characters at the beginning of that, but it's called an invisible emoji. So what I'm going to do for those of you in the coaching community after this live, I'm actually, and you'll know what it is because it'll have end brackets on it and an emoji either side that you can see, but the middle of it will actually be this invisible emoji. So those of you in my coaching community, look for that post in that group and you can literally copy and paste it into your notes section of your phone. Just keep it there. So you can actually copy and paste it into your social media and use it straight from there. Okay, so online crew coaching community members, I'm going to give you the goods. The rest of you have to go and find out how to do that. But I'm telling you that it's impossible. So just go and find it, go and Google how to do it, and you can work it out yourselves. But this here is, there's actually a character behind that, which is called an invisible emoji. So if we go here, if I go, space, try to get in the middle here. I might do an emoji here and go, catch up with me, a little bit of a love heart here, and I'm going to go test, and then I'm going to go there again. Look what happens when I press post. Did it post? Straight back to the left-hand side. So unless I put the invisible emojis in here and actually test it. So once you've got it once, guys, where is it? So I'm going to now, so watch this, copy. So I'll give this to you guys in the coaching community. I'm going to edit the post. I'm going to paste my, so you can't see anything, but I'm literally just pasting my invisible emoji, which is really weird when you can't see it. Maybe let's just bring it back a little bit. Now I'm going to save the changes, refresh my screen. Just give it a second to come up. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. You've got to edit the post. Oh, hang on, I have to go and copy. Where'd you go? So here, this is my invisible emoji. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to edit the post. I'm going to paste my invisible emoji. I won't worry about putting the love heart back in. I'm going to save that. Why isn't it working? So just trust me, it does work. Why do these things happen when you do them on screen? But you can see that it's there. It does work, guys. So something I'm doing is not working here. But you might need to take it. So I've taken the brackets out, which when I give you the invisible emoji in the coaching community, it's got the brackets. So copy and paste the whole thing and then just take the brackets out and it'll appear in the middle here. Okay, I've done the same thing here. It's got the invisible emoji here. Okay, I'm not sure why that's working, but just trust me. It works because that's all I did here. I just copied and pasted it from my template and I put it in here and it works perfectly. I love how the fact that you do things all the time and then you go to share it on the screen and for some reason it doesn't work. But trust me, it works. No, Rick, that's enough out of you. It's not an invisible crab. Inside joke, guys, if you don't know what that means. I don't even know why I gave that any airtime, Rick. We just have a little dig going on. Yeah, just trust me on that one. So you can, when I put it in the coaching community, guys, just copy it, put it maybe into something like the notes section of your phone. So then when you go and do a post, just write what you want to write, go and copy it from your notes section of the post and paste it in your post, and just take the brackets out. I have to have the brackets in there so you know that it's in what's inside it. So what's inside the brackets is actually invisible. So you actually know what's there. Because it's invisible, you can't actually see it. Okay, so I'll do that shortly for you guys. So what do you think? The main purpose of this, guys, is not only that, but anything that you can learn that looks a little bit different to what everybody else is doing, you know, and that the average person just can't do, it does help stop the scroll. So things like, I'm going to share something with you tomorrow as well that most people won't know how to do. And this actually came from one of our community members here who brought it to my attention. So I'll give them credit for that tomorrow. We'll go through that, okay? So stay tuned with me. Make sure you turn up tomorrow so I can share with you something else. But just keep in mind, sometimes take a step back and just really think about what you're posting. And if there's something that you can do that, you know, just is a little bit different, absolutely do it, okay? So I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration today. I'll go into the coaching community now and put that in there so you guys have got that and you can copy and paste and just start testing it and using it for yourself, okay? So it's called the invisible emoji. That's how you do it. Okay, guys, thanks for turning up with me today, especially those that are actually live with me, because I am at a different time, and I'll keep you posted about Paul's surgery as well. Okay, guys, catch you tomorrow. Bye.